I think we are live. And hi and greetings, everyone. Whoop. It's great to have you here. My name is Eugina O'Liberty, and I'm a co-founder of Academy of Conscious Sexuality. I am international pleasure and intimacy coach and a founder and creator of Pleasure Conversations, which you are joining right now. And a mission of Pleasure Conversations is to bring consciousness to sexuality and give people tools and self-awareness on how to create mind-blowing experiences in a safe way. So today I am joined by an incredible Luke Scott, who is an author. He's a public speaker. He is an online course creator. He is a spiritual mentor. And he's a pleasure and intimacy educator. So basically, he just has got so many gifts that he very kindly agreed to share with us today. So I hope you're going to join us and stay for our conversation. Get your questions ready. And just feel free to ask them whenever you're ready. So when we have time, we will be answering them. So on this note, I think the live just got dropped a bit. So just get back on that.
I'm looking for the live on your page so I can share it. So everyone, share the live go share it. Share it with your friends. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be super juicy and very sexy. Oh, yes.
Yes, indeed. We're going to make it super juicy, very sexy. So, Luke, would you like to introduce yourself very quickly?
Yeah, so I am the co-founder of the Academy of Conscious Sexuality, which is a beautiful sex education company. So we do workshops, retreats all around the world, teaching adults and young people about how to really have loving, juicy, conscious sex, and that sex is actually a really beautiful thing, and it's one of the most incredible experiences you can have. Whereas most sex education that people get is just crazy, right? It's like fear-based, and we grow up so terrified to even talk about it. And so we're completely shifting that. So that's a business that me and Eugina run together with our other business partners. So that's really great. And the other thing I do is I run a public speaking academy called the Standout Speakers Academy. So if you're interested in public speaking and maybe you've got some fear, maybe you're not quite sure how to get yourself on those huge stages, follow us on Facebook or Instagram, Standout Speakers Academy. And we do events, we do mentorships, everything. So basically, I really love making people feel uncomfortable. That's like my favorite thing. I just love stretching people. You know, if you tell me you have a fear, we're going to smash through it. If you tell me you're uncomfortable about something, that for me means you're growing. And so, yeah, I love it. And I'm super excited to get juicy with you, Eugina, and talk about some cool stuff.
Amazing. And so am I. I'm so excited. And actually, I was feeling in the flow. And it's just before pressing the live button, I was oh, I feel this nervousness coming up. It's oh, yeah, this feels good.
Nervous is good.
Yeah, totally. So, look, I actually would love, for you to tell us a bit about your story, because you have such a fascinating story. It's where you come from and the way you grow up, and it's it has been so colorful that it's your original environment is completely not where you are right now, and I would love for you to share that with us.
Of course. Yeah, for me, I had a very interesting start to life and a lot of experimenting and getting involved in things that maybe aren't so nice. I'm from a very small seaside town where there's a lot of drugs and gangs and things. So that was kind of my upbringing, right? It's constant fighting for something, fighting for survival or fighting to show off, I guess, was a big one. It's like, and my mum and my dad, they actually met in a motorcycle gang. You've probably seen TV shows about them, like Sons of Anarchy and that kind of thing. It's like a crazy life. So growing up around that, I got to a point in my mid-20s where I was partying 4 or 5 times a week, drinking myself into oblivion, doing all other sorts of stuff, anything to really numb myself, because I had this huge broken heart that I wasn't dealing with. And so I was using drugs and sex and alcohol and violence and everything just to escape. And obviously that isn't a long-term fix. And so it got to this point where I went on a night out, and I don't remember coming home, but I woke up the next morning and my 2 front teeth were smashed into the back of my face. And I asked my friend what happened. He said, "Don't you remember we had a fight with like 5 guys?" And I didn't remember that. And I could have easily died. It would have been very easy for that to have been the end of my life. And so from that night, I never got that drunk again. I haven't been in a fight since. I completely switched my whole life around because I realized how out of control it was. But it was another few years after that before I had what I call my big awakening. And so those next 2 years, I was still involved in that scene, but I was much tamer. And once I had my big spiritual awakening, I realized just what an absolute facade all that stuff was. And that wasn't really me, and that was just me hiding and running away. And so the last 3, almost 4 years now have been about doing that deep inner work, really going inside and embracing those shadow aspects of myself that just needed love, and really understanding what I love and who I am. And what I am at the core is I'm just this guy who loves hugs, and I love intimacy, and I just want to be around amazing people, and I just love being real and honest, which was the total opposite of who I was for most of my life. So now here I am in this beautiful place where I'm privileged to be able to show others how to connect with themselves and how to find out what they love and how to be who they really are, so they don't have to pretend anymore.
Yeah. It's quite a different space, isn't it? And it's like this radical honesty. When you're able to be so radically honest with yourself that it's like, actually, I've been pretending all my life. And like makes you realize, oh my God, where I am right now is like really, really different space.
I'm privileged to be able to show others. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just conditioning, right? We're just programmed to be like this. We see other people being that way, and so we try and copy them because we think then we'll be cool, or they'll accept us, or they'll like us, or whatever. So that's why I got involved in the drink and the drugs, and but none of that was who I really was. And I think we're in such a beautiful time now. Everyone on the planet's shifting. Everyone's waking up, and they're all just realizing that there's more to life than what they've been told by their family or their friends or their school. And that, especially in London where I live, it's like whatever you want to do, there's someone who'll do it with you. Like no matter how weird or crazy, like there's someone who's on your vibe. And so it's really a beautiful time to be alive, and just super excited for everything.
For sure. It's like, it's how we've met actually, that we was talking about like all kinds of like woo things. It's like, oh, so we can be friends now.
Yeah, we're weird together. We can be weird together.
Weird together. And now it's like, and how weird we have been together. Oh my God.
We've done some weird stuff.
Pretty weird.
If you'd like to do some weird stuff with me and Eugina, comment below. Let us know you're weird. We'll do an interview to see how weird you are. If you pass the test, you can come and play with us.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be weird together. Because why wouldn't we?
That's what my spirituality group on Facebook is called. It's called Spiritual Weirdos with Luke Scott.
Yeah.
Because you have to be weird to be in my gang. If you can't own being weird, then I don't know if we're ready to play with each other yet. But someone told me the other day that I should change the name of it, because they are very connected, but they call themselves game changers instead of being weird. So I'm playing with that at the moment, but I still like being weird.
Weird game changers?
Maybe.
How you can make it work. So you actually, you know what fascinates me a lot, like from all of your work, is that you're helping people to find their purpose. And this is like one of the things that I have struggled personally loads and loads in my life, you know, like also like until I'm 30, I didn't know my purpose. I didn't know it's like where I belong in the world. And lots of people that I know, they come from the similar place, you know, it's like growing up in the destructive background, you know, it's like the family, like perhaps, you know, like not feeling that sense of belonging when you feel like out of place. I come to so many people like that, and these are mostly the people who are not really sure what is their purpose in life, how to find it, and like how to tune into it, how to make it work, you know. And could you tell us more about that? How, like, what advice would you have for somebody like that?
You know, when you wake up in the morning and you're going on holiday and you're like so excited because you just can't wait, and you can hardly even sleep, right? Because you're just so looking forward to what's coming up. This is what it's like when you find your purpose. Not every day, but most days. Of course, you still have some challenges, but you wake up like most days, like fired up, especially if you have your purpose and you have the right plan. Some people know their purpose and they don't have a plan, and then they just kind of feel overwhelmed and they procrastinate for years and years and don't really do anything. So you have to have the purpose, but you have to have the plan as well, which is where mentors come in, right? Or coaches, which is why you're a great coach and I love mentoring people. So, you know, we're talking about pleasure. Like, there's no bigger pleasure than really being in that sweet spot, being in that alignment. And when you are connected, when you're on the right path, it just, everything flows so nicely, right? You're so full of energy, and you're like, people look at you like, are you on drugs or something? You're like, nope, just on purpose, like having a great time.
I'm on purpose.
Yesterday, I was absolutely off my face. Honestly, I messaged my friend. I said, bro, I don't know what to do. I'm literally buzzing. And he says, yeah, mate, I'm absolutely off my face too. And it's just because we're so tuned in to our higher selves. And most people are only used to that kind of energy when they're on drugs. So people see you and they think you're doing something weird, but really you just have this fire inside you, right?
Yeah. And
so this is a big part of what we teach at the Standout Speakers Academy is, how do you find your purpose? So I created a 7-day course called How to Find Your Purpose. So I think when you meet someone who knows their purpose, you can see it in their eyes. Right? You can just see they're awake. And when I worked in corporate for 5 years, and it was a soul destroying job, it was a really awful job. And in a lot of ways, there were some good parts. A lot of the time it was just mind numbing. And you could just see it in people's eyes. It's kind of like they're zombies, you know? They're fueled on coffee, medications, because to deal with the stress of the high pressure work environment, and they're just not even themselves. And I think that's such a shame. So for everyone watching, listening, like, invest some time, find your purpose, do my program, get a coach, get a mentor, find someone who can help you tap into it. Go on YouTube if you don't have those kind of resources. Like, there's nothing more important you can do than finding your purpose.
Definitely. So how do you know when you found your purpose?
Well, this is where people get hung up a lot because they think they just have one purpose, but they don't. You are a multi-purpose being. You have so many purposes you can do, right? And it's just up to you to choose one right now. And when you start serving one purpose, you'll see the other ones, people will be attracted to you. It's like I love nature, right? So you see a river just flows. Yeah. And as the river flows, everything around it gets nourished. Everything around it gets life because the river's flowing. So when you're flowing, you're like this river. You see people around you just get nourished and they just want to be near you. Like the animals come to the river, right? The river doesn't go to the animals come to get nourished. That's what it's like when you're serving a purpose. So pick one and just really feel into what are you really good at? What do you really love? What kind of things do people come to you for advice on? And what would you love to do even if you weren't paid for it? Like, what would just make you so happy and adds value to people? Like when you find that, you find this thing that you love, that you're good at, that people need and that you can get paid for, you find that little sweet spot in the middle. And that's where the real magic happens. But you just have to get started.
Yeah. I think that this is the scariest part, is like when you talked earlier, is like procrastinating. It's like in my 20s, I had so many business ideas. Like I want to do like a fetish party, I already like orchestrated everything. I found the venue, people, like everything is just like, hey, accelerate now. And I was like, whoops, maybe not. And basically, I just like went through life babying this idea that I really want to do it. And it's still with me. I'm still going to do it. It's just like matter of time now. But then it's like, I wanted, like, I'm great at making omelets. And I was like, okay, this is a great idea. I'm just going to make these omelets. I'm going to sell them. I found a spot in the like local market. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I got the friends to like test them out, and like give me their feedback, like a market research. Done it all. It's like, whoop, retract. It's like this, like lack of confidence, lack of like feeling not important. And it's like, oh my God, I started doing photography. I'm like brilliant photographer, getting bookings, everything. It's like, no, that's it. Like, and this is like reoccurring in my life everywhere, and like looking where I can go with that, what I can do. And every time that happens, feeling, oh my gosh, another thing just dropped, another thing it hasn't worked out. And do you have any suggestion for people who are going through things like that?
Yeah, for those of you who are watching me and wondering why I'm closing my eyes, I'm not asleep. I'm just breathing and connecting with my core, which is really important when you are giving advice to people, is to breathe deep into your body and not speak from your ego. So the difference between you now, Eugina, and you then is you've invested in yourself a lot now. You've had great mentors, you have great coaches, you like have a plan now and you have support. And people think about building a business and they want to become an entrepreneur, but they end up just being solopreneurs. Like they're just doing everything by themselves, which is awful. If you are your marketing department, your sales department, your admin team, you're your own accountant, you're graphic designer, you're in stress mode, right? There's too much. You have to build a team. And you need an environment around you that encourages you. A lot of people, when they start out, they don't have anyone to go to advice for. They don't have anyone to cheer them on when you have those tough days. And so really, once you have the plan and you have the team, magic happens. But we're programmed to think we have to do this by ourselves. Like, I know what I'm doing. And it's all bullshit. Like, just ask for help. Learn to receive. Let the river nourish you, right? Like whatever you need is there. It's available in abundance. You just have to ask for it. And I know when I started out, I got people to do my photography and my graphic design, my websites and everything on mates rates, because they wanted to help me.
Mm.
You don't have to have huge investment, but if you do have lots to invest, even faster. Like the more you can invest in yourself, the faster the results you get.
Mm.
But even if you're not into business, anyone who's watching who's, you know, not into business, whatever that thing is that you love, it could be, you could love doing massages, you could love doing art, you could love being a bin man. Like if that's your passion, awesome. Like whatever it is, you need to go for it. Like, and it leads you on this trail of breadcrumbs. Like I was a sales coach and a sales trainer for a big corporate company. That was the step that taught me how to be a great coach and a trainer. And then so I started speaking about sales, and then I started speaking about business, and then I had my spiritual awakening. I started talking about that, and then people started asking me about speaker training, and then sexuality. And now I'm in this beautiful place where I run events around sexuality and speaker training and consciousness, and I see how all the breadcrumbs came together. But if I hadn't have taken that first step and become a sales coach, none of that other stuff could have happened.
Yeah. And this is so actually interesting. This is what I wanted also to talk to you about, like about sexuality and pleasure and intimacy, and like knowing your story, that you came from such a like a place where sexuality have been like almost like forced. No, like I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's like it was like you had to like pull the girls. No, it was like kind of necessity. So and like feeling quite um, funny about that. Now you're in this beautiful conscious relationship, and you teach sexuality, and you teach pleasure, and you teach intimacy. So how did that happen, like for you? Because you know, many people, they do sex only for just because they have to, because it's like what's needed, without actually putting like anything else to that.
Yeah, in my friendship circle growing up, it was this bravado thing. You know, your self-worth was defined by how many girls you could have sex with. And so that would be our thing. We'd go out, we'd get drunk, we'd see if we could have sex with a girl. If you had sex with a girl, everyone thought you were a legend. If you didn't, everyone called you a loser. It's like, it's drilled into you, like, this is what men do. This is, if you're a proper man, you have sex with lots of girls. And this was the mentality, but there's no love there. There's no connection. There's no respect. I wasn't seeing these women as divine goddesses. I wasn't appreciating their beauty. They were just sex tools. And I'm sure I was the same for most of them. Like they just wanted to get laid and have some orgasms, which is just sad, because it's just a tiny part of what's available and possible in the sexual spectrum. Like, yeah, it's amazing to have great sex and to feel physical pleasure and to have orgasms. Like, let me know if you like that stuff, of course. But don't you want more? Don't you want the deep soul connection? Don't you want real intimacy? Don't you want to feel seen and heard and respected? And that was what was missing. And I would, you know, I could have sex with the most beautiful girl, and the next day I would feel terrible. It didn't make me feel good after a while. And so I went celibate for a while, and just completely withdrew from sexuality to find out who I really am and what I really want. Most people don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. They haven't done that work yet, which is where finding the purpose comes in, right? Like finding who you are, like what are your values? What does matter to you in a sexual relationship or in any relationship? What are your desires? I know that's a big thing you teach.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what you want, how can you expect it to come to you? It's like getting out your phone, going on Google Maps, and not putting in a destination.
Yes.
Like, tell me where you want to go. Like,
No, figure it out.
what do you want? Of course you can walk around and you might have a nice time, but if you want to go from London to Manchester, just the fastest way is to put it in the maps, and then you get guided by your guidance system, which our guidance system is our emotions, right? When we're following the path, we feel great, and when we're not, we don't. And people get in these places where they feel a lot of shame or guilt or depression or anxiety or fear or worries around their sexual life. And
Yeah.
it's just because they're so far out of alignment with what their soul wants. Their soul is saying, hey, all of this is available to you. You are a god. You are a goddess. You can have anything that you desire. And instead they're settling for crumbs.
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, I work with quite a lot of people who are ashamed about their sexuality and sexual life because there is this, you should be doing this and you should be doing that, instead of like, actually, hey, follow your heart, follow your genitals, what feels good to you, what feels right to you. You know, because yeah, again, all the shouldn'ts, and it's like for the guys it's like a massive thing, like huge. It's like you should be sleeping with lots of girls, when actually it destroys your soul. And for the girls, when they have a big appetite, they're like, you're a slut. When actually it's like, hey, I just love this connection. Like, yeah, so it's crazy. We're actually doing the event on that, right? On the 30th and 31st.
Yes, we're running an event together with our friend Michael Charming and a few other speakers. So it's called Money, Orgasms and Relationships. So if that sounds juicy to you, I'll ask Eugina to put the link below. You can grab your early bird ticket still. So that is 2 days where we go deep into how to really understand these energies of money, orgasms, relationships, how they're connected. I'm going to be talking a lot about the energetic side of sex and how to really enjoy and experience the full spectrum of sex rather than just these little bit, this physical orgasm that most people are used to. What are you talking about, Eugina?
Well, I'm gonna talk about my favorite subject, which is desires.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, I'm like, bring it on, give me what I want, and I want, this is my list.
Extensive list.
Extensive list.
Color coded.
Like detailed, like everything. It's like, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. Can I have some more? Like, this is the thing with desires, isn't it? Once you get what you want more of what feels good.
It's why you're so good at manifesting, though, because you're so clear on what you want. So the universe just goes, okay, cool, here we go, I'll bring it to you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and the other thing, I'm not scared to ask for what I want. Yeah. In fact, it's actually one of my favorite parts is to ask for what I want and just like see how things gonna like reveal themselves, and usually so much fun.
Yeah, I've really learned that from you, to ask for what I want and to let people serve me.
Oh, so good. Oh. We done the retreat together with Luke. So every time at the retreat, I was asking him, every time when we would have a meal, I was asking Luke to pass me something, you know, it's like from the food. Oh, this is so good.
It's so pleasurable to be the server when someone really when someone asks for things so clearly. It's like it's so satisfying to serve, and you just want to give and give and give and give and give, and it's so great to be on the other end of that too, and to have all your needs met and from someone who wants to. But it's really important for people to own their no's as well, you know. So if you don't want to do it, don't do it, because someone else will love to do that for me. I love massages. Physical touch is my main love language. And so I'll ask someone, hey, can you give me a massage? And they'll be like, no. And I'm like, okay, no worries, thank you. And then I'll ask the next person, hey, would you like to give me a massage? And they'll go, yeah, I'd love to. And they're going to give me one with so much love and care and attention, Whereas the other person, if I'd made them, I could have like guilted them into it or something, but then they're going to give me a half-assed one, which isn't going to serve me anyway.
Yeah. And also the energy behind it will be like, so which is not fun anyway. It's like, yeah, this is, you know, it's like asking for what you want. It's really like how I look at it. It's giving people an opportunity to give me what I want, which is like so much juiciness, so much pleasure in that. Like even with my work, I love serving because it's like my work is of service. So when I serve somebody and something opens up for them in their relationship, in their life, in their sexuality, it's like, it's huge. Like they win, I win, you know. It's like my whole life is like, yeah, oh my God, this person made a progress. It's so much fun.
Your desire workshop that we did on the retreat was just like life-changing. And since we did that, I am just really good at asking for what I want. And I've always been good at getting no's because I was from sales background, right? So I did door-to-door sales and telesales. So I'm used to people rejecting me, which is a great thing to get used to anyway. But now when the right person says yes, it's so good. And I see this vision of myself that I'm a movie star. Like Wayne Dyer is one of my greatest influencers, and everyone just loves to take care of him, or loved to. He passed a few years ago. Loved to take care of him. You know, imagine that kind of person walks into a restaurant. He's not paying for his food. Everyone can't wait to serve him and tell everyone that he came in their restaurant, and how grateful he would be to those people serving.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to be big speakers. You know, they see themselves, and this is the kind of people I love to work with, who see themselves as these huge global superstars, speaking in front of thousands of people, having video courses and programs, and really changing loads of lives. I call the people in our team game changers. So we have a hashtag 100 game changers. And what we're doing this year is we're working with 100 speakers, and we're just transforming them. So we're taking a team of 12 of us over to India in April, and they're all becoming international speakers. So these game changers, they have to start living that kind of all-inclusive celebrity lifestyle now. Like, you have to step into it energetically. And if you have blockages around receiving, how can the universe possibly bring you millions of followers? Like, you have to be able to energetically receive that. And I think this is the journey a lot of people are going on right now, is they're really good at giving, but not so good at receiving. And it's to learn that everything in life is about balance. You breathe in, you breathe out. You can't just breathe out all the time. If you just keep breathing out, you're going to die. Nature teaches us everything we need to know.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so true. And the same like in sexuality, you can't keep on giving. Because the more you keep on giving, then you just like dry yourself out. There is no nourishment for you to like to give from. And it's like what happens in the end, you just start resenting your partner, your lover, you start resenting the sex, you start resenting lovemaking, and it just doesn't do any good for anybody. And all, like in my experience, all I see, it all happens from we are not voicing what we really truly want. Or like when we are, like very often the ego gets in the way. And it's like, how do you ask for what you really want when it's like actually, you know, that you considering, oh my God, but there are those things, and I'm not sure if this person feels in the right mood, and I'm not sure like how and what they're gonna think about me and everything else. So look, how do you deal with that? Like, do you have reservations like around asking for what you want, or how to gauge your energy when you asking?
It's really important to discuss with your partner or anyone, even if you've just met them, your boundaries and how you like to be treated. And you have to teach people how to treat you. So this is absolutely critical. When you make a new relationship with someone, you have to tell them, hey, this is how I like to be communicated to. And this is what I'm going to do. And this is the kind of relationship I'm looking for, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship or whatever. This is what's important to me. And it's so refreshing when you have this kind of conversation. And this can be with someone you've known for 20 years. You can go to them like, hey, I watched this webinar and, you know, it was a really interesting conversation about communication. And this is how I want our relationship to be from now on. And this is how I'd like you to communicate with me. How would you like me to communicate with you? And just to open these kind of conversations, it sounds really easy, right? And it is, but it can be terrifying because you open yourself up to being rejected.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you're in a relationship with someone and they're not even open to hearing how you want to be communicated to, then why are you in a relationship with that person? It's not going to work out long term.
I'm so happy that you brought this up now, because I just had a conversation with somebody and they asked, it's like, well, how did we come to the, like, this place? Because when, like, so this is a guy, right? And uh, basically we had a discussion about, like, boundaries and consent. And his outlook was that it's demasculating asking about the consent. Like, why do we have to ask about everything? Because as it, like, society portrays right now, that it's like the guys who have success with women are actually big macho guys that just come and, like, grab you and, like, everything is great, you know? And it's like, on some level, apparently, it portrays that when you're asking for permission, when you're asking for consent, it shows that you are not masculine enough to just, like, take. What is your view on that?
I think there is nothing sexier than asking someone for exactly what you want. And it's such a turn on to be in that space. And I couldn't think of anything more masculine than looking someone deep in the eyes and saying, this is what I would really like right now. Would you like to give this to me? Or this is what I'd really like to do to you right now. Would you like me to do that?
Yes, please.
I would really love to give you a massage right now with some warm oils, to play some nice music and some candles. Would you like that?
I'll say yes.
Right. It's not begging, okay? You're not begging them. You're not saying, "Oh, please let me massage you. Please let me use oils on you." That's not the place to come from. That's not the energy to come from. Saying, "This is my desire. I would really like to do this, and I would love to do it with you. Is that okay?" And if the answer is no, then that's okay too. You then have to have a conversation. If this is something really important for you, you have to say, well, this is a desire that I'm going to get met. And so if you don't want to meet that for me, then I'm going to go and get that met better somewhere else. Are you okay with that? And this is an interesting part of the relationships. And we might be talking about a romantic relationship, or it might be a friendship. So it's my birthday this weekend and I'm going to Glastonbury. So I could say, hey, I want to go to Glastonbury for my birthday and I would love for you to come with me. Do you want to come? And you say no. I say, okay, well, I'm going to go anyway. I'm going to invite another friend to come. Are you going to be okay with that? And they'll go, yes or no. Then if you see me off in Glastonbury having a great time with my friend and you get jealous or upset, that's your shit. Because the communication's been really clear. And I think this is what a lot of people are worried about. It's like, well, what if they say no? Then does that mean I can't get my desire? Well, that depends on the dynamic of your relationship and what you agree to. And not putting yourself in a relationship where it's outside of your boundaries. Mm. And it can mean having some tough conversations, even with friends. You know, we let our friends bully us. A lot of people let our friends bully us, and they take advantage. And it's not, we don't have healthy boundaries within our friendships. And then to all of a sudden say, hey, I watched this webinar and now I want to have a completely different dynamic in our relationship. You might have to just accept that some people will say, okay, cool, sounds great. And some people will say, well, I don't want a relationship anymore.
Yeah. It's all about adjusting, isn't it? It's all about like really being very clear about what you want, what goes, what is a yes for you, what is a no for you, and how do you ask that, and how do you communicate that? Because like, again, doing like lots of this work and like actually working with people who find it really difficult to ask for what they really want, and like then how do you appear when you ask for what you really want? It's like even like at our retreat when I asked you to make me a cup of tea, and it's like how specific I was, it triggered many people because it's like, oh my god, she's really like high maintenance, she's really this, she's really that, she's like who she thinks she is, it's like she should be happy he's making her a cup of tea at all. But what happens, we have got so much judgments about people who ask for what they want. But there's like, there is a way to understand, if you don't ask exactly what you want, the chances you're going to receive exactly what you want are very, very slim.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love massage. We've talked about it already. So if I say, hey, Eugina, would you like to give me a massage? You might say yes. Amazing. Mm-hmm. If I don't give you any further instructions, the chances of me getting a massage that I actually like are very slim. Because I'm just leaving it totally up to chance.
Yeah.
And so I would then say, I would really love for you to give me a nice, firm massage with oils and some nice music playing, some candles. And for you just to give me as much love and attention as possible and be like really slow with me. And you can even push really hard. Like I quite like it when it's quite painful, you know. That's when I feel like it does the really deep work. So don't worry about hurting me. Just like really trust your intuition. Now you've got some solid guidance, and the chances of me getting a massage that I like are really good, because even midway through, if I'm not liking it, I'm going to give you adjustments.
Yeah.
And it was the same with the cup of tea thing. And I really enjoyed making you that cup of tea. Because you say, hey, can you make me a cup of tea? The chances of someone making you it in the exact way you want is very slim. You need to be super specific if you want to really get the most pleasure from whatever it is you're doing. So yeah, really stuck with me when you taught me that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. And it actually, you know what, when I done these exercises, what they opened up for me was like revolutionary stuff. It's like, for me, it was, oh my God, men don't want to hurt me. Men actually want to make me happy. It like, seriously, it has been like a life changing for me personally. I was like, finally, this belief that men want to hurt me was gone. And I was like, wow, men actually want to make me happy. They want to give me what I want every single time. And even if they don't, it's not like because of like any like bullshit reason. It's like they just don't, and it's fine, and it's okay, and I can live with that. So like, it has been huge, like weight, like belief lifted off me, you know, then. And to share that, it has been absolutely incredible. So I think that this is why, you know, well, this is definitely a huge part why I'm doing this work, you know, especially around desires, because we all have got language. we all can communicate, but we just not using it up to our like optimized way, that we actually get what we want when we ask for what we exactly want. So and there's so much shame around asking, isn't there?
There can be, because when we were a kid, that's what we're made to do. You know, we're made to think that children are inferior or something along those lines, and that, you know, you can't ask for everything that you want, and we carry that into our adult life. But just because when someone said no when you were a kid doesn't mean they're going to say no now. And you learn this in sales. When you do door-to-door sales, right, you knock on 120 doors in a day. On a good day, you get like 3 sales. So that means you get 117 no's every single day. And you just get used to that. Now imagine, armed with that knowledge now, you know that if you ask 100 people for what you want, one of them is going to say yes. Every time. How many people would you go and ask? You're going to keep asking until someone says yes, right? But most people give up after they ask 1 or 2 people. But maybe they're just not the right people.
Yeah.
And you talked about how men want to serve you, but I think it's everyone. Everyone loves to contribute. Everyone loves to give. You just have to give them an opportunity, and then you have to allow them to serve you. You have to be able to receive.
Yeah.
Which is a big lesson I've been learning, especially with my business and my team. You know, when you grow a business, so we have around 25 people in our team now. And as an entrepreneur, as the owner of the business, you have to delegate. You have to give them the stuff to do. And it's like, I've grown this baby for the last 3.5 years or something, you know, and now I have to give my baby to someone else and let them raise it. And it's terrifying. But that's the only way you can really grow, is if you allow these people to be creative and to do things their way. Oh, I can't expect everyone to do things my way. That's not how businesses grow and work. Yeah. So when you do ask for what you want, you can always ask them, hey, I'm open to trying it your way. Like, make me that tea how you like it. I'm open to trying a new way. Or sometimes you're going to say, no, I want it the way I know I like it. And nothing's good or bad or right or wrong, you know, everything's cool. I love new experiences. I find it so pleasurable and exciting to try things I've never tried before. And I love when I meet people who have some kind of skill or experience I haven't done. Like, that's exhilarating for me. But at the same time, there's some things that I just know how I like them.
Yeah, absolutely. And when actually, you know, about the desires and asking for what you want, it's like, it's absolutely true that everyone loves to serve. Like, in my experience, you know, it's like serving is one of the most rewarding things ever. And in my experience also, that we have hang-ups. Like, for example, I had an unhealthy relationship with the masculine. So for me, when the masculine served me, it has been like, oh, it's like something healed in that moment. This is why it has been like so revolutionary for me. So
it's so beautiful as a man to be able to hold space for women to ask for what they want and to be able to serve them. And I did 2 sessions with clients today, and they were both women. And it was just beautiful because they hadn't had that divine masculine container before, or felt that kind of support from their dads or their brothers or whatever. And when you are able to hold that space, it really is transformational. Like, giving someone your full presence is just incredibly healing for everyone involved. And you know, that little girl who asks her dad for something and he says no, and then she gets scared to ask again, that's still inside us. You know, or that little boy who wants something for his birthday but he doesn't get it. Like, and then he makes a decision that he can't ask for what he wants. That's still inside us. And when we do the work to actually go in and reparent that inner child, magic can happen, because the only thing that matters is what you decide to do right now. Everything that happened in your past is just a story. And you can choose, if you like telling the story, to keep telling yourself it, but most people tell themselves not very nice stories.
Not very nice at all.
So from right now, just tell yourself the story that you can have anything you want. You can be anything that you want. Anything that you can imagine is yours for the taking, is yours for the asking. And as soon as you ask the right person, they will give it to you. And as soon as you ask it energetically, the universe is already bringing the people to you. You just have to be open to receive. And the only thing that's going to stop you from receiving it is how much you allow abundance into your life. So relax, breathe, slow down, and let the magic happen.
So beautiful. So beautiful. I feel that this is a beautiful, beautiful spot to complete tonight's pleasure conversations. And is there a last thing you would like to leave our viewers with?
Yes. I'm gonna be quite straight and direct with you now, and I'm gonna be quite straight and direct with you because I love you and I want you to have everything that you desire. In this day and age, there is no excuse.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to educate yourself. There is nothing more important that you can do than go and figure out who you are, what you want, how your body works, how your mind works, how your energy works, your emotions, your spirit. Like, this is the key. Understand how you work sexually, because it's not that complicated. It's really not. And the only thing that's going to stop you from getting everything you want is you.
This is so true. We so want to put blame on everybody else, but honey,
when I was growing up, we didn't have the internet, right? So if you wanted to find the answer to something, you had to go to an actual library, get out a book. You had a library card, right? And you have to go and you actually get actual books out, take them home, or you go to an encyclopedia that's this thick, right? And now we just have Google or YouTube. It's so easy. You want to know how to find the G-spot? You just YouTube it. Like, so easy, right? 5 minutes research, you found it. It's no mystery. There is no mystery. It's like whatever you want now is so readily available for you. So go and find it. And if you feel like I can help you with your public speaking or with your sexuality stuff, or you want to do some coaching around your energy, your spirituality, I call it my spiritual mentorships, reach out to me. It's lukescottofficial.com. Or if you feel like Eugina's the person, then reach out to Eugina. Or if you feel like it's anyone else, get some support. Everything will go so much easier and so much more joyful and so much faster for you when you have the right team.
Yeah, express your desires. Ultimately, express your desires. So we're going to be posting a link for you to get in touch with Luke, because he's just an amazing human being who can help you with all kinds of variety of things. And once again, just a reminder about our event, which called Money, Orgasm, and Relationship.
Oh, juicy.
So juicy. So come and see us, vibe together, talk together, joke together, and also sharing our wisdom and knowledge with you around sexuality, around anything.
We have 6 powerful speakers as well, so you get to see lots of different people's methods and ways that they work. So it's going to be a really great event. And for everyone who's watching as well, do follow me on Facebook. So it's Luke Scott. You can find me on Facebook, on all social medias, at Spiritual Speaking on Instagram. YouTube is Luke Scott Official, and there's loads of videos from me, Eugina, on there about sex, intimacy, pleasure, everything already. And join our Academy of Conscious Sexuality Facebook group as well.
Academy of Conscious Sexuality, that's us. Right. On this note, I would love to finish because this seems to be a great place. So, my name is Eugina Liberty, and my guest Luke Scott, and this is Pleasure Conversations to give you tools and knowledge to have a mind-blowing experiences in a safe way. So stay sexy, stay loved, feel yourself, know yourself, love yourself, and have lots of pleasure. Bye.